The lure of the Tasmanian wilderness draws walkers from all over the world. But for those of us who live in Tasmania, we are blessed to have it right on our doorstep. A group of 9 of us headed into the amazing Upper Mersey River Valley to soak in the beauty and to examine some of the forces that helped shape it. We were fortunate to get permission to base ourselves at a small drover's hut on a private property nestled within the wilderness zone between the world famous Cradle Mountain National Park and the walls of Jerusalem National Park. The location is endowed with waterfalls as the highland rivers wind their way towards the Tasmanian lowlands and Bass Strait. The scenery is amazing and a great way to unwind. One of the other reasons that we wanted to visit was to investigate our theory that there should be fossils on both sides of the valley. We had discovered fossils previously on the western side of the valley, and if our theory is true, the same layers should be found on the eastern side. We believe that incredible volcanic forces pushed the global flood sediments up as the valleys dropped towards the end of the flood, and that is why you see the volcanic peaks pushing through the fossil-bearing sediments. So our task was to find fossils about halfway up the eastern side of the valley.
So we walked along this cliff face, and there's the valley down there. Just see the hut in the distance. Mersey River. That's where we're camping. So we're on the side of a cliff over 600 metres in elevation in the centre of Tasmania, and the cliffs up at this elevation are absolutely laden with Permian fossils, brachiopods and scallops, pectins and a bunch of other things, bryozoans. Here's some here on the cliff, just absolutely chock-a-block. Must be billions of these creatures. We found them up and down the valley. Can't see them very distinctly here, but they're the sure signs of them. And if you pan around this way, Rob, behind me here as well. And right along. And we found them tumbled down all the way down the ridge as well. So there's many, many metres of fossils here.
Other evidences found of fast-flowing water and catastrophic laying of sediments included distinct layers of rounded stones and cross-bedding, which our strata machine experiments have shown can happen all at once. Waterfalls were great locations to find fossils, and they were found in mudstones, limestones, shales. They were all jumbled up, which is evidence they were buried in a dramatic flood. Here's an example of a bryozoan. This one is a cast of the internal muscles of a brachiopod, but there was even more evidence that the event that buried these creatures was catastrophic.
Found this rock that's got some lovely shell fossils in it. We've also found this very interesting apparent timber fossil, or maybe horsetail rush. Land plants with sea creatures.
In fact, we found quite a few examples of plant fossils mixed in with sea creatures. Our next task was to walk a nearly 20-kilometre round trip in a day to the head of the valley and see if the fossil layers extended all the way there. 6 of us took this challenging trek. Here we are, resting at a second drover's hut beneath the towering Cathedral Mountain. The landowners walk their cattle into the mountains during summer and take them out before the snows of winter settle in. All along the way we found evidence of the mass burial of sea creatures, this site on the Mersey River itself. But we were most excited to make a find after an exhausting steep climb up the mountain onto the overland track.
Just climbed up Paddy Hartnett's track, joined the overland track, right at the junction, Sporiferid brachiopod.
Hidden within this beautiful valley is powerful evidence of the event of Noah's flood. No process today can explain the mass burial of billions of creatures, even in just one valley like this. Secular geology admits these mountains were pushed up in a matter of weeks. It's time they woke up and realised the truth, that biblical history best explains what happened here.